no. It is pronounced as no. But you don't have to worry about this, actually, about this pronunciation, because in general, this pronunciation is mostly used in the dialect of Nepal Bhasha that is spoken in the Bhaktapur area. But in Kathmandu, it is less pronounced. So as we are learning the Nepal Bhasha with the dialects of the Kathmandu, so you don't have to worry about this kind of pronunciation. But though there are some words which you need to pronounce this sound, no. Okay, and similarly, so, the, this is, this is, well, actually, when we were taught in school, because we studied the Devanagari script, right? So we were taught that this is pronounced as yon. But the linguist says that this is not yon. It is nyo. Nyo. The sound is nyo. So here also, this sound with the ha sound added, then it becomes nyo. 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 This kind of sound, nyo. And it is used mostly. I mean, this sound is used mostly in the Nepal Bhasha, and of course in the dialect of the Kathmandu also. So, and in general writing, it is written as, in general writing, it is written as no. In Devanagari, I'm writing in Devanagari, a very similar sound to this. No, ha, and yo. No. No. But it is no. It is actually, it should be pronounced no. But this is no. No. Like, so let's say this is your mouth and this is your teeth. So when you pronounce this, you hit your tongue here, no, no. But when you pronounce this sound, you stick your tongue here, no, no, no. So this is how it is pronounced. But in general writing, we used this letter. Okay, similarly, za, 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 myo, myo, and these letters are not used in Nepal Bhasha word, but we have this script. Ta, ta, da, da, ra. And this ta is the sequence of this ta with tha, da, and tha. These are used in Nepal Bhasha. Ta, tha, da, dha, and na. And here also we have another sound that is na. That is na. This is na, pronounced as na. Okay. No and no. No and no. It hits at the same place when you pronounce no. Your tongue hits at the same place. Okay. No, no. But the sound comes from the, when you pronounce no, it generally comes from the mouth only. I mean, it's the oral sound, no, no. But when you pronounce no, it comes from the bottom of your throat. I mean, from the vocal part. No, no. So when ha is added to these letters, then the sound changes into the addition of ha sound, and that brings a more deeper voice. No, Nha, 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 nha. A kind of deeper voice. Ta tha da tha na, and then so in pa, pa, ba, bha, and mo. And here also we have another sound, that is ma. 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 This is the lip sound, because you join your lip when you pronounce this. Ma. Ma. And this is also the same way of pronouncing, but from the vocal sound. Ma. Ma. So similarly, pa, pa, ba, bha, ma, ma, and ya. So ra, after ra also we have this sound, the ra, 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 ra. When you say hriday, hriday, so that's the sound here. How do you say hriday? The heart, hriday. So the word, the sound for the ri, how do you pronounce that? From where you take your voice out, that's how it is pronounced. The same way, from the same place. Ra, ma, na, nya, ma. From the same place. So if you can pronounce the ri sound, hridaye, then you can easily pronounce these sounds also. A little more practice may be needed, but you can do that. Ra, and similarly the la, la, and then again the other sound, la, 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 la. You hit your tongue at the same place when you pronounce la and la, but the sound is different. La is, while pronounced kind of orally, but the la is from the vocal. It's the little deeper voice. La. La, la, ya, ra, ra, la, la. And then this sha, sha. And this is another sha. Your tongue twisted more towards upper part of your mouth. This sha, just a little above your mouth, I mean above your teeth, a little more above your teeth, and it is sha. And this is even more, sha, more towards the upper part, sha. And this is simply sa, which you hit at your teeth, sa, sa, simple sound, sa, sha, sha, sa, sha, sha, sa, sha, sha. And these sounds are not used in Nepalbhasa like these sounds. But we have the letter, we have the lipi, and it can be used to represent the words for the different languages. And sa, ha, sha, ga, and ya. So these letters or these sounds are mostly used in Nepal Bhasha. That's why it is Uh, it is actually when we were taught, we were also following as of the Devanagari script, but later our linguists have said that no, we need these sounds also because it is mostly used in Nepalbhasa. So we have this letter and it has been used in the some manuscripts also. So that's why we must use this sound to represent the things that we pronounce. So here we have a new way of teaching this Nepal Lipi. And when we are teaching this Nepal Lipi, we are not only teaching the script, but also the pronunciation, also the sound that needed for the learning Nepal Bhasha. So this is how it goes. Okay, Nandita Mejo, a little hard it might be, but I hope that once you try it, then you can do it.
So one more thing.
Yes.
In that line, right? Pa, fa, ba, bha, ma, ma. Right?
Yes, ma.
That line of ma, will it touch the upper, that mu?
This line, the
Yes.
line of, yes. So it is our rule. It is our rule. So
for law, it is not going.
no, law for law it doesn't go. But ma is the ma has the two lines touching at the mo letter, right? Ma is the ma have two lines that is touching at the mo. Okay, let's shall I delete this? Okay, I'm erasing this. Okay, so so here it is. This is ha. Okay, so when you write who, you write who like this. So that's why the mutukwa, or the place where we are going to add the letter is at this place. Actually, at this place from here, it is just written like this. And so when we need to add any letter below the ha, then what we do is, as ha has the la, this is the la. So when we combine with any letters, when we are to add any letters to the ha, then what we do is first we write this part only, and from here we write what letters to be written. So let's say law. Okay, so law is written like this, and then we give the ha to complete this. Okay, so law is, why law is written like this? Because law is the single line touching at the mo letter. It has only single line touching here. So when you add any letters to the, let's say in ka also, what you do, this is ka, the front part of ka. So ka has also the ha. So we are going to write ha after. So then if we need to add law in ka, then what we do is the mutufa of ka lies here. You give ukar here, right? So here what you do is add this line here, and then you write this body part. Okay, this is ka is added with law. Now to make it complete, what you need to do is ka has the ha, right? Ka has this part here. So what you do is bring this part to cover the bottom letter, always. So whichever letter has the ha, whether it is ka, whether it is this also, this letter also has the ha. Okay, this is ha, and similarly this jaw, this is la. La of jaw is this part. This is la, and this nya, this is la, and similarly this is also la here. So, and what are the others that has the la? All
the last alphabets will have, no, sir?
Sometimes I also get confused. Ka, ja, nya, and what are the others? Okay, the others are the ha itself, and the ha, the letters added to the ha, that is the nha, mha, and ra, and sha. Okay, ha also, sorry. La also and cha. So these are the la, dugu, aha, are the letters having ha. So if you see here, all letters are, while you write in a single letter, these all letters are, except ma, these all letters are na, nga, nya, ra, la. So all these letters are single line touching at the mo. Okay, so it is nya is also the same, nga is also the same. So no, no, and ra, and la. Okay, so these are the single line touching letters. But here, the mo is, when you write mo separately, it has two lines that is touching at the mo. So that's why we add, when we write any letters to, when we write, add the two lines touching letters to the any other letters, let's say it's ko, and we need to add mo here. So what we do is the mutupa of mo lies here, sorry, ko lies here. So from here, we add this line, the front line of mo, front line of mo, okay? We write like this. And the second line is written from the upper part of your copy line, upper line of your copy. So, and then what you do is, after completing the bottom letter, the upper letter, that is ka, and it has the lha, so we write the lha covering the bottom letter. So that's why the front part of mo written from here, and the another line is written from the top line of your copy. So similarly here also, it is written like this. So this is ha, okay? The mutupa of ha lies here. So from here, what we do, we write mo. First, the front line of mo from here, and the second line is written from here, ma, and then what we need to do is complete this letter by adding la, and the la should cover the bottom letter ma. So this is how it is written. Okay, Nandita Mezu, any confusion?
No, sir. Fine, sir.
Weren't you in a class when I taught about this?
No, sir. Like when I was doing that work, no, I got little confused, so I may have
Okay.
made a mistake there.
No.
The first time I did correct, and then the second time I may have made a mistake.
So once you do mistake, then you will come to know that, yes, I did mistake, and I won't do it again. So now next time you will be sure that
I'll remember.
Yeah. Okay. So any other confusion?
So
So
not confusion.
so I would like to know, actually, but I haven't seen your homework, unfortunately, but so how did you write this? Okay, I'm writing in Devanagari, okay? This word is there, I think. This is Simmanyan.
Sir.
Yes.
I have one small request, okay? Actually, I was looking for Nepal Lipi books and all for kids, like especially for elementary level, so that it'll be easier for us to understand and all. But then I'm not finding anything online.
No,
None of the
it
PDFs.
is no, it is not online, but we have the book. Actually, the
So if you can send us the PDF of elementary levels, or because the
no,
words
no,
which you send is so
it
difficult.
no, no, it is only a single book. I mean, it can be used for the elementary level and it can be used for the intermediate level or whatever level it is. So once you, because no, it's, so don't get confused that the difficult part of learning Nepal Lipi is at the combined letters. So whether it is the elementary level or the intermediate level or the advanced level, at the very beginning, you'll have to learn these compound letters. So it may need a little more time, but you must learn it because Nepalbhasa has the has many words that has the compound letters. See, you see, so that's why it is very much needed. So at the very beginning, also, whoever the students, whether it is small students or the older students, we usually teach all those things in the, whether it is the elementary class or intermediate class. So you will have to learn all these things. So we have a book on, I do not have the PDF file of that book. It was it's already printed, and but if you want, I can send you, but how, I do not know. You are in Dazzling, and but let's see. But I can send you the once I, but I can, what I can do is I can type the letter and send you the file. That I can do. Okay, so I think all of you have written this correctly. So it is written like this. So many people get confused with this letter. So this is C, and here we have ma and pa, the two letters, and ma is to added pa here. So first what you do is write ma, okay, and the bha is added, since when the bha comes after, if it doesn't have, okay, if it doesn't have the ukar in the bha, then what you need to do is write how you write the bha, okay? So what you do is the mutupa of ma lies here, and from here you just add this bha, simbha, simbha, and here we have 1, 2, and 3 letters. 3 letters are here, and in which these 2 letters are lahadugo akha. This has also the la, and this has also the la. So what you do is, and this comes at the beginning, this comes at the middle, and this yo at the end. That means at the bottom. So first you write this part only, not la. Okay, this part only, not la. So first you write, now this is your copy line, and you need to write all these letters within this line. 3 letters. It has gone some little more, but here. So what you do is you divide this into 3 parts, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here you write the front part only. Then find the mutupa of this. The mutupa of this letter lies here. So from here you write the front part of ja. And when we write ju, we know that we write ju like this. So it doesn't go like this, and then we add ju ukar here. So here also what we do is we just give a straight line down, and then from here the mutupa of ja lies here. So what we do, then we write yo, and yo has the 2 lines touching at the mo. Yo has the 2 lines touching at the mo. First line is joined at the mutufa of ja, and second line should be written from here. Okay. Now you have written all 3 letters, but there is still more to do, and that is the writing of la. So once you check these whether it is completely written or not, so you check it from the below, from the bottom letter. Yo is completely written. Yo is completely written. Now we need a jaw, and jaw, the la of jaw to be written. So first we write jaw. Okay. Now the third letter, which comes at the beginning, and it has the la also. So what we do is we give this Johnny, because this is the mo madugo akha as well. This is the mo madugo akha. There is no mo, no dika at the top. So we give Johnny here, and then we give this la to cover the bottom letter. That is jo and yo. Okay, cover the bottom letter. And it has the akar also. It has the akar also. So it's now it's sim one ja. Now we need to do ja. So what we do is give akar, and this akar belongs to this letter. To show this, what we do, we give jani again. We give jani again, and this no is, and here also we have no here, and mutufa of no lies here. So here we write the go. And now when you write this is the mo madugo akha that comes at the top, at the beginning. So that's why we don't write mo here. We don't write mo here. We leave as it is, and we write mo in the mo. So this is how it is written. So I hope that all of you did like this. Did you?
Sir, I've not reached that place. I'm still.
Okay. So now you know how to combine the letters, right?
Yes,
Or
sir.
is there any confusion? Okay, we will be set the time. Don't worry. I think maybe on Wednesday. Maybe on Wednesday. Okay. So from Wednesday you will be starting the Nepalbhasa class, and before that, a little while ago, then we will set the time. So, so is there any other confusion? So now you have already know how to write the Nepal Lipi, and so what you do is to do the practice. So I would like to tell you how I learned this Nepal Lipi actually, because I was not taught by any teacher. I have many teachers actually, because and all my friends are my teacher. So how I learned this Nepal Lipi is quite interesting. It might be interesting for you. Actually, when we celebrate the New Year, the Mahfuza, on the day of Mahfuza, I was in college at that time, and I thought that so I would give some gift to my friends on the occasion of New Year. So I asked my another friend who is a Lipi teacher. So I asked him that to write my friend's name in Nepal Lipi, and he wrote. I gave him the list, about 30, 40 friends list, and he wrote in Nepal Lipi for me. So after I got that paper, I mean the names in Nepal Lipi, and I just tried to copy it down. I do not know which letter is what, but I have the Devanagari letter at the beginning and the Nepal Lipi afterwards. So I just write it like that. And after writing that, those about 40 names, I think 35, 40 names. And I can able to read and write the Nepal Lipi, though I have some confusion in this. So then I got more curious about the Nepal Lipi, and then I tried to write these things again, words by words, and I showed it to my friend, and then he suggested me to write like this. And sometimes I go to another friend, and sometimes I go to another friend. So this is how I learned the Nepal Lipi. So I do not have a special teacher. I mean, a single teacher. I have many teachers. So this is easier, actually, not so hard. All you need to understand is the rule, how it is combined, especially when it is the writing the compound letters. So the rule follows that the compound letters are written from top to bottom, and the letters are added to the mutupa of the top letters. Okay, and lahadugo akha, for the lahadugo akha or the momodugo akha, for the lahadugo akha, laha never writes at the beginning. Laha always written after writing all the letters below, and then cover the all letters below by the laha. And if the momodugo akha comes at the beginning, the sequence of those letter is like the how we write the sequence of the momodugo akha. So it follows the same rule. And if the ukar is the below letter has the ukar, then it follows the ukar of the below letter. So this is the basic rule. So all you need to understand this, and that's all. Okay, is there anything now?
So can you like revise on the rule of ha portion?
Ha. Okay.
When you add ha in different letters.
No, actually, you cannot add. I mean, we do not have words, or we do not have sounds for every letter to pronounce adding ha, or any letters added to ha. Ha is the, but ha is somehow a different in character. So as I told you before also, whether the ha comes first or ha comes at the last, whether it comes at the last, it always, when you type it, it always gives the ha at the beginning. Ha at the beginning. And if ko is added to ha, or ha is added to ko, though it may, this sound, I don't know whether this sound does exist or not, but what you do is, how do you pronounce this? It's not ko. I don't think it is pronounced as ko. But of course, some, and if you see the, in Nepalbhasa, mostly, I told you before also, the la, ra, la, and wo also. Wo is also a semi-vowel sound. That is also why, that's why it is also added to ha, and it is pronounced at ho. And yo is also the semi-vowel sound, and that is also added to her, and it's pronounced as yo. So only these letters are used. Otherwise, there is no other letters adding ha to any letters, or adding any letters to ha. So
can
all
you add ha to yo?
Yes, it is just simple. This is ha. The mutupa of ha lies here. So what you do is ya, and then you give la. This is ya. This is ya. So similarly, ho also. So mutupa of ha lies here, and we write wo. This is ho. Ho. But there is no other sounds like ka added ha, ka added ha, added ka, or ga added ha, ka added ha. No, there is no sound. But some of the letters have the vocal sound. That's why we use this letter, ha. Okay. Now, any more questions?
Sorry, when you said that when you add ta with ya
Mm-hmm.
and ta with ma,
Mm-hmm.
then we have this line coming in front, right, sir?
Yes, yes,
One
yes.
in these two, right, sir? In other, we don't have.
No. Actually, in general, now for this time, I mean, so what we do is when the ta comes first, okay, ta comes first. Any letters when you write, add any letters to it. Let's say ka. You write like this, ka. If ta comes first, now here ka, ka. This is our general practice, okay? This is how we do, or we are learning. So what we see is actually, what we see is when it is when ta is added with a single line letter, single line touching at the more letters, it is written like this. It is written like this. And when the double line touching more letters comes, then it is slightly, and then this is how it is written. We can see in the manuscripts that it is somehow written like this. So generally in the single line touching letter, it can be written like this also. Let's say Ratna. When you write Ratna, Ra, Ratna. Or it can be written like this also. This is same, Ratna. Okay. So in general, we write like this, but if we go to the manuscripts, we can see this kind of writing in the manuscript. And similarly, what other words? Satya. Satya. So it's not too much bended like, but slightly. And then Satya. And this is also normally we write so in two lines, the letters having two lines touching at the more letter, then what we do is we can write it like this, okay? And in single line, we can write it like this. The both are correct. But in general, if you see when you are going to learn the Nepalbhasa text, then you only see this thing. You don't see this thing. Because in our font, only this is possible. Okay, so now any more questions? And don't get confused at the pa and pu. Okay, pa and pu. When you write pa, it always write like this, and when you write pu, it always write like this. Okay. So just kind of opposite. Okay, so when the bha comes first in the compound letters, when the bha comes first, the bha is written like this, and the other letter joins here. When the bha comes below, the other letter comes first, and the bha is written like this. And if the bhu is added to the other letters, like swayambhu, soyam bhu, then you can't write like this. You can't write like this, or you can't write like this. This is wrong. This is wrong. So how you write it? Ma, and then swayambhu. So it is because here it is only bha, but here it is bhu. That's why it is written like this. So these are the things that some people get confused in bha and ha. Also, I told you about ha. This is ha, and when you write hu, you write like this. And when you need to add any letters to ha, then you just write it from here, not from here, just from here. So these things to be remembered. So any other? And the Gutu Bhushu, about Gutu Bhushu, this can be written like this. I told you to write like this, right? The Rasho, the short sound, Gutu Bhushu, but it can be written, if you want, as other letters. The Rasho Gutu Bhushu. I think I have sent to teach Nepalbhasa the other letters also, the Nepal font also. So did you get that font? The Nepal font. So if you type with the Nepal font, you get this GU. But the font that I sent you before, if you type with that font, the Akha, then you get only this GU, the Rasu GU, only this GU. So now you have the two fonts. If you haven't received it, then I will send it again, or this Nepalbhasa will send you. So if you have both fonts, then you can write both ways.
So I think we have only that Akha only. I think Nepal, that font is not received.
Not received yet. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, now I why I can't see this. Where is it? Akha. It's here now. It's here now. Okay, you can download it from the chat. So Nepal _0.ttf is here. So you can download it from the chat and install it in your system. And when you type the this thing, then you can have the both access. I mean, when you use the two phones, Akha and the Nepal. But all you need to do is select each and every time, whether you want to write it in Akha or you want to write it in Nepal. So, okay, any other confusion? Do you have any other confusion? So similarly,
So
yes, please.
one question. So like I think you have told it earlier, but just to confirm only, like if I have to write dog dha, so the ga and dha comes together. So I'll write the ga on the top and dha, because I will use that ga's la as the backbone for dha, and I write dha on that.
No. Just remember this. This ga. So. Oh, go. Okay, I forgot one letter. I also get confused. This ga, this ta, and the last letter is. All these letters are mo madugo akha, right? All these letters are mo madugo akha. So when mo madugo akha is added to any letters, let's say in ka. So when we want to add any of the mo madugo akha, so you must know that though this seems like it has the two lines here, one from here and one from here, but actually, sorry, my light goes out. Actually, it is not. It is the single line touching at the mo letter. This is the single line touching at the mo letter. So that's why when you add ga to ka, so what you do is you add this part here and you join this part in the mutupa. This part in the mutupa, and then you write like this, ga, and then you give. Okay, this has gone to. So similarly here also ka, and this tha, the mutupal of ka lies here, and that's why tha, and similarly this also, if you want to add ka, sorry, nya, so what you do is this as the lha and the other lha is here. So of course it is not, it doesn't have the pronunciation, and I don't think it can be used in any other language also, but if we want we can write it like this. So this is to understand this. And similarly here also, it seems that it has two lines here, right? One this and one this, but it is not, because this is the mo modugo aka, the letters having no mo. So what you write is like this. You draw line, this line here, add this line here, and then so. And similarly here also, if the tha comes below, then it is written in different way, right? When tha is added, so it is just like this, and then ka. Okay, and tha also ka, the front part of ka, and here you add this line, the, and then so, and here also, first you write ka, and then you add this line, the mo madugo akha, and then so this is how it is written. And instead of ka, you can use kha, ga, kha, any other letters. But when the mo madugo akha comes below, then you need to write it like this. So that's why it is regarded as the, of course it doesn't have mo, it doesn't have the dika at the beginning, but it is regarded as the single line touching at the mo letter.
And when you write like dogda,
Dagda.
both ga and dha both are mo maduga akha.
Yes, dugdha. Okay, dugdha. So ga, this is ga, and as I said a little while ago, so what you need to do is add this line here, and then you write this.
Mm. Sure.
So you might remember this when we write the ta on ta and ga on ga. Yes. So here also what we did is ga. Okay, this is ga, and we write the la. Sorry, I said la. Sorry. This line of ga add here, and then we write the another ga. And similarly, tha on tha, we write this tha first, and then we write another tha from here, and then, so this is how we did. So the only difference is when the tha comes at the bottom, so it changes the shape. And similarly here also, I'm sorry. Similarly here also, when the ra comes at the bottom, then how it writes like this. It writes like this. This letter. I'm sorry, actually it should be written like this. Only these two letters. I mean, the mo madugu, in mo madugu, only these two letters, when added to another letters, that means when it comes at the bottom or in the middle, then it is written like this. So, and this is also the thing that you should keep it in your mind. Okay. Is it clear now?
Tula.
Tula? Okay. Is there anything that I need to say? Okay, you ask me then. Only then I can reply, I think. So I would like to have a copy of the book. Where do I find? So actually in Nepal Lipi, the institution where we teach Nepal Lipi, so there you can find it. But if you want it, okay, I will send it to you through the Teach Nepalbhasa. It's not expensive actually. It's only 100 rupees, so that you can get the copy of that book. So it is easier for here to distribute. I mean, from Teach Nepalbhasa, or you can contact directly to me. So, but I don't know how to send it in the Dazzling and in other parts. if I can wire the money, can it posted? I don't know actually. But if you have someone here and who is coming to Dazzling, then please send that person to me and I will send a copy of that book. That's the easier, I think.
No one is there, sir.
No one is there. Some friends or some relatives.
None.
Okay, I'll see how to send you that book. I need to ask for the courier also whether they can send that book to you or not. Maybe it can be digitized. Of course, it has the digital file, but now, as I told you, what I can do is I can type it and send you the file also, but it takes a little time.
So I found some, okay. I found some material.
Yes.
I'll mail it to you. I don't know. I cannot read so fast, so I downloaded some things from archives. So it's there, and it was written. It's Nepali, Nepalbhasa, kids story. Actually, so I just downloaded. I have the file with me. I can send it to you. You can have a look whether it is really that thing or not.
Okay. I'll see that. I'll see that. So any more questions? Any more? So now what you do is, now you know how to write the Nepal Lipi, right? So now what you do is, just as I did, try to write down everything in Nepal Lipi. Try to different to that of the letters, name different letters. And especially the compound letters, it would be more interesting if your friend's name has the compound letters. Like, let's say Sandhya. Now let's say the Sandhya. Sandhya. So, and as I told you before, no and ba, when added to tha, actually our rule follows like this: no comes first and then tha, and similarly ba comes first and then tha. If we follow the rule, okay, and we give more here, because no is the upper letter, or that the first letter, but for these two letters we never write like this. It is somehow written like this. First you write tha, and from here at the middle part of tha you write no. And similarly in ba also, first you write tha, and from the middle part of this you write ba. And when you write this, you never give more to this. You never give more to this. And it is here that this letter is regarded as the mo maduga akar. So that's why if we want to add akar here, then we must give jani. And similarly here also, if we want to add akar, then we must give jani. So in Sandhya, this is Sandha. Now all you need to do is add yo. Sandhya, it is written like this, right? Sandhya, all you need to add is yo. So here is the mutupa of ta, and then you add yo. Now we follow the rules of the mutupa, mo maduga aka. We follow the rules of the mo maduga aka. Since this is the mo maduga aka, and it is regarded as the first letter in this word, so that's why what we do is we give zani And sandhya, we need an akar. So again, we need jani. And this is how sandhya is written. Sandhya. And sa has the mo. So similarly, and this also, and all other letters in which the tha is added, then we can write it like dugdha, dugdha, and if there are any other words, I don't remember. So is it clear for the tha? So only these two letters. When no and ba, in which tha is to be added, then it is written like this. Only these two letters, and rest of the letters you can write it just like this. Okay, thula, okay. So I would like to show. Actually, I have searched my system, but I couldn't find the written in Nepal Lipi. But I have some. This is the, on the occasion of the International Mother Language Day. This is the invitation, as well as the participants' name are written here. So maybe you can try to read this. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. Okay, do you see this? So here are some names and some text here. So can you try? It's the, can you try? This is Ranjana Lipi. The red one is Ranjana Lipi. This is written in Ranjana Lipi. It is also quite similar to Nepal Lipi, right?
Yes, sir.
But these are all Nepal Lipi. Okay, can you try?
Which one, sir? The name?
Any sentence, in any sentence from the beginning, from here.
Gugu no mabaya tana wani guli jita dukhata chad dhasa mabaya rastraya vangshavali kha.
Yes. Ma bha. Yes, ma bha. Gugu no ma bha tanawani guli jita dukhata chad dhasa ma bha rastraya vangshavali kha. And who said this?
Samuel Johnson.
Samuel Johnson. And
Na Jamha English Sahityakar.
English Sahityakar, yes.
English Sahityakar.
See, yes. So here also you see here the ta and yo, and the compound letters is, when you type it, it comes like this. So now read this.
Sakalasita lasakusadu halima vaya hanani.
Yes. Oh, you can read the Randana also. Now.
Ni chi.
Yes.
Ni chi February. Dochi wo.
No dochi. Nido wo.
Ni nasi.
Yes, nido wo ni nasi. Okay, now.
नेपाल भाषा साहित्य व म्या वज्या
Me Voja.
वज्या वज्या
Let me make it more bigger.
ज्या मोले ज्या झोले
Yes.
ज्या झोले साहित्य वो नेत झाएगु वो च बियादीपी भाजु वो मेजुपी लोककवि राजभाइ जकमी शशिकला मानन्धर.
Okay, so see here the Manandhar, but unfortunately we haven't had this. Just I told you here the no comes first and ha comes after. So unfortunately we do not have this thing corrected one. So it is when you type this Manandhar, it comes like this. Okay, next.
शरद कसा सुरेन्द्र मानन्धर रेखा शाक्य रामेश्वर मिश्रण
Yes.
रामेश्वर मिश्रण श्रेष्ठ.
Yes.
विजय रत्न असम बने असम बरे. मीना वज्राचार्य रेजा वज्राचार्य ज्ञानी राजा मानन्धर राम गोपाल आशुतोष विमल प्रज्ञा वज्राचार्य प्रभा वज्राचार्य नरेश अमात्य विमला मानन्धर सजगता मानन्धर दिव्या ताम्राकार रमेश मानन्धर आयुष्का शाही रविना श्रेष्ठ सचेतना मानन्धर में हालत छाएगु वचो बियादीपी भाजु वो मैजुपी सलील सुन्दर तुलाधर सोनिका मानन्धर गंगा महर्जन सुमित्रा महर्जन निभा डंगोल प्रदीप्त पुस्तकालय मासगल्ली
प्रदीप्त पुस्तकालय या
मासगल्ली ई मीनसिया P.
So P, it's not P, it's pure. Pyata ile.
Pure.
Since we have the, it's not only the numbers that we are counting, it's the time we are saying. So Pyata means 4 o'clock.
Pyata ile. Pyata ile ni silaga Panchami दो वो पी नसी
दो वो सचिव पी नसी और दो सचिव पी नसी
सोमवार सकले इले झास ने.
Yes, sakle ile jasan ne. So, is it hard?
It's all about practice, sir.
Oh, that's all. Okay. So, any other one just wants to try? Let me see if I have another file here. Okay. Okay. Any other wants to try this? Who wants to try? Who wants to try? Kripa, Arya, Nandita, Mejapni. Any of you want to try? Anirudh Bhaje has done, so Jivan Bhaje has already tried.
I can try.
Okay, okay. Kripa Meja, please try.
Thaw Madae Dhukupi.
A long sound, long nasal sound is needed here.
Dhukupi.
Dhukupi. Ku is also a dirga.
Dhukupi.
Yes, P. P, a nasal sound. Yes. When this
P.
sign comes, you need to do a nasal sound.
Thaw Madae Dhukupi.
Yes.
Abu Tusi Ratna Tuladharwa Ma Nani Soba Tuladharya Lumanti Hyae Hyae Tulsi Soba Tuladhar Hyae Ratna Devi Kasaa Hyae Hira Nani Tuladhar Kyae Triratna Tuladhar Hyae Moti Devi Shrestha Hyae Uttamanani Udasa Pisa Pri Maha Manju Shriya Chwata Thau Nepal Sambat Dachi Dochiwo Sachiwo
Yes.
P Nasi
Yes, correct.
Silatwa Shri Panchami Ai Tava Kunu Jagat Sundar Bonekuthi Jagle Palistha Yagu Jula Bhija Bhinaka.
Yes, correct. Okay. So that also now you can read the if the text in Nepal Lipi given to you, then you can read. So you can read it easily. Maybe you need a little more practice, but you can read it easily. So let me see if I have another file here also. It's not. Okay. Sorry, unfortunately, I do not have another file to show you, but if any of you wants to read this, you can try again this file. So any of you want to try?
Okay, sir, I'll try it.
Okay, Arya Majid, please. Okay,
From where?
from the beginning, or okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, from here,
Okay.
from the first line.
Gugu na ma bhai tanav wani guli jigta dukha ta
Jita,
chai
Jita.
jita
Yes, a longer
dukha
sound.
ta
Hmm.
chai bhasa
Hmm.
ma bhai ra Rashtraya Wa- wait. Sir, I forgot that alphabet.
This is wo, but it is the Sanskrit word and in the Nepali word. So though it is written wo, it can be pronounced as ba. So Bangshavali.
Okay.
Bangshavali.
Bangshavali Kha.
Oh,
Samuel Johnson.
Johnson.
Nada Ma.
Mo.
Ma.
Ah,
Ila English Sahityakar.
English Sahityakar.
Sakalasita Lasakusadu. Holly Matae.
No, this is the Ranjana Lipi. So this is Bha. This Ma Bha. This is Ma Bha. Only, yeah, it's correct. And it's not Ta, it's Bha in Ranjana Lipi.
Okay. So where read from? Ni.
Yes, correct. If you can say these numbers.
Wait, I've forgotten a bit.
Okay. This is Nichi. 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 Okay, Nichi. And the letter is.
Niichi.
Read this.
February. Ni. February.
Yes.
Ni. Zero. Ni.
And now it is 2022. So if you want to say 2022, then what you say is Nido wo Ninasi. Nido wo Ninasi.
Right, okay. Ni doa ni nasi. Nepal Bhasa Sahitya wa me. Me.
Yes.
Byoja.
Vo.
Boja.
It's wo sound. Wo sound added to bo. So that's why it's vo.
Bojwa. Ja. Ja.
Ja, yes.
Okay. Ja. Wait, what was that? Jwa.
Yes.
No. Jo?
Jo.
Ja Jolay Sahitya Bonita Jaigu Boton Biadi Pi Baju Wa Me Jupi.
Yes, correct.
Lokakawi Rajbai. Yeah, Rajbai Jakami.
Yes.
Jakami Shashikala Manandhar Sharat Kasaa Rendra Manadar, Rekha Shakya, Rameshwar Mishra
Misrana.
all right,
No.
Mishrana,
Hmm.
Shrow Shot.
Shrestha.
Huh? Oh, right, Shrestha. Shrestha. Vijaya Ratna Asaware Mina Jracharya Vajracharya
Bhadracharya.
Raja Vajracharya. I forgot that alphabet.
Gya. Gya.
Gyani Raja.
Yes.
Gyani Raja Manandar. Ram Gopal Ashutosh.
Hmm.
Bimal Yorbha.
No, it's Pa. Pa added Ra.
Oh, Bimal Parbha.
Prabha. Pra.
All right, okay. Bimal Prabha. Vajracharya. Vajracharya. Naresh Amatya. Bimala Manandar. Sajgata Manandar. Sajagata Manandar.
Yes.
Divya Tamrakar. Ramesh Manandar. Ayushka Sahi. Navina Shrestha.
Ravina.
Ravina
Ravina.
Shrestha. Sachetana Manandar.
Okay. And the bottom.
Me halata maegu
Chaego.
whatsa झाएगु वत्स बियादीपी भाजु व मजुपी
Yes, correct.
सलिल सुन्दर तुलाधर सानिका मानन्दर गङ्गा
Sonika.
सोनिका मानन्दर गङ्गा महर्जन सुमित्रा महर्जन निभा
Yes. Nibha.
Gola. No, that's not E. That's
It's Da. Dangol.
Dongol.
Yes.
Niva Dongol. Thai, you're the
No, it's Pa.
Pradipta
Yes.
Pustakalaya. Cha.
Wait. Pradipta Pustakalaya, yeah,
Chi Masagali. E Nina Sia. Wait, what was that? Okay, 4. Ta ile ni sillaga wawami panchami 1142
Okay.
Somava Sakale Ilaem Jha Song Ne
Sakle ile chasane. Okay.
Sakale
Ile chasane.
Jasane.
Please do come on time, okay? So that's what it says. So this is how you read, and this is how you do the practice. So I'm happy that you can read it. I think I should conclude today's class. and wish you good luck for the upcoming Nepalbhasa class, and hope that um, uh, you will sincerely learn the Nepal Bhasha very well, and I will be there also, and we will be having a discussion about the language and all those things also. So tomorrow we will have a holiday, so it's Silachare, and day after tomorrow the Nepal Bhasha, and our Honorable Vishnu sir will take that. Vishnu sir, well, attend concert class kata chinchu taidi maudu. Maybe concert means the day after tomorrow. So if he has anything to say for the first day of the class, so I'm requesting him to, if he has anything to say. Chundu Bishnai. Concert nimti chun hamaudu.
Moro chumoro atie do ne no class the ne regular trend.
So he says that there's nothing to say so far, so it will goes on, so don't worry. And so you will be provided lessons, so each and every lesson on the same day when you are going to study those lessons. So, and it will come a little earlier, so don't worry about that also. You will get in the email. We have about go chinchabu do mahla bisnai.
She says I'm not be sure again. You did therefore
18 lessons in the you need to study. So I wish you all the best.
18 lessons.
So now I think I should take a leave. And Subha, Balaka Chonadisa, Balaka Bonadisa, you did very good in Nepal Lipi. And for the Nandita Meju, I will check your homework and the files that you have sent me. And of course, I will set a time for you to those that you have to say, I can do that. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So shall I say Jojalapa Subha now?
Sakale Silachare Vintana.
Okay, Sakala Sita for everyone. Sakala Sita Silachare Ya Vintuna. Silachare Ya.
Sakale Siyachari.
Sakala Sita.
Sakale Sita.
Okay.
Silachare.
Sakale.
Sakala. Sakala Sita.
Sita. Sakala Sita.
Sakala Sita Silachare. Here is the Ya also. Silachare Ya. Bhintuna. Sakala Sita Silachare Ya Bhintuna. And this need to add here, okay? There is no space, that's why I wrote it down. So actually it is need to be added there. Silachare Ya Bhintuna. So Bhintuna is the Bhintuna word is
Silachari. Silachari.
Ya
Silachari Ya Bhintuna.
Bhintuna, yes.
Silachari Ya Bhintuna. Sakale Sita Silachari Ya Bhintuna.
Yes, Nandita Meju. Yes. Silachare is the
Sila? It's like
Silachare is Shivaratri.
Is Siva called Sila in Nepalbhasa?
No, it is not actually. The Sila means the month of the in Nepal Sambat month. It is Sila, and Chare is the 14th after the full moon day. from the no, how would I say? Okay, in Nepal Sambat, you know the Nepal Sambat, right? Yeah, okay. So Nepal Sambat has 12 months. So each month is divided into two parts. That is because it follows according to the lunar motion. So it is the lunar calendar. So it has divided into two parts. One is when this moon rises and when it becomes the full moon, the 15 days. The duration between the moon rises to the full moon is the 15 days. And that's the one part. And another is when the moon again, what do you say? Moon now, after the full moon, the moon, moon shining is decreased. So it is and it goes up to 15 days, and the day comes when you can't see moon. Okay, so that is in Nepali we say Onsi. That's the darkest day. Okay.
No moon.
I mean,
No moon.
No moon night. Okay, no moon night. We should say no moon night. So after the full moon, the 15 days up to no moon night is regarded as the another part. Like in, if you know the Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha, have you ever heard the word Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha? So this is the same. So this Chore means the a day before the no moon day, no moon night, sorry. A day before the no moon night.
That's
so,
Chaturdashi.
Chaturdashi, yes. That's Chaturdashi. And the Sila means the month, name of the month.
We should also learn the months. Are there in Nepalbhasa?
Yes, sure, we will do that also. Don't worry. Chore means the about 20th days or 29th days of the month.
So this is wishing happy Shivratri.
Yes. Bhintuna means Bhintuna can be explained in it could be the congratulation. It also a wish, a good wish. So also a kind of happy thing.
Shubhakamana.
Shubhakamana, yes. Bhintuna means Shubhakamana. So
Sorry,
Sila Choreya, Bhintuna means Shubhakamana to all on the occasion of Sila Chore. Yes, Jivan Bhajan.
Sir, we are here referencing with month and date, sir, but there is no any mention of Shiva here. So shouldn't we use the word Shiva here?
No. I don't know exactly how this word is termed, but it is believed that the month Shila is for the month of Shiva. It is also said like that, but I don't know. But this is not the word for the Shiva. Shila doesn't mean the Shiva. But on this month, the worship of Shiva is done. That is on this Shila Chore. So,
Consonant apply.
Consonant apply. And Yoko Bhintuna. Nepalbhasa Klasya Yoko Bhintuna.
Suba.
Jazalapa, bye bye. Suba. Consonant apply, sure. Consonant apply. Name Jazalapa.
Jazalapa, Pabitra.
Jazalapa. Bisnai daily yande na.
Shirla. Le Pabitra.
Ji simna ne da ji a ya de na ka. Pasalang ka ya. Only bata. Le nanja daily sidal la le. Nanja. Adi rungkal lagi sih. Kau sejasa cucu ya jadi bisnai. Kau sejasa inter cuci ni mau do.
Constantly, constantly actually to present briefing chain to Newa Bhaye or Nepalese Bhaye, the briefing that we constantly. We only put in it.
Chu ayo kini umur lah. Kau sana macam chu kena briefing ya dasa jila. Chu ayo text apa chu foto ayo chu kini do.
Jigal tomorrow. Ayo chu dosa chu no. Kau cakap tak ada juga na. Main kita kila dekat. Bisa interaction saya ya, jana ya, because orang tu bisa yang di sana jo. Inter nyasa nyana, ale nyasa ya kong ni berarti lagi tu. Good there.
Wake up in the nyasa nyani go, mungkin nyasa saya jo apa asa sambandi apa Newa Bhaye sambandi, nyasa dek lah mungkin. Nyasa nyani go tu ni. Newa Bhaye saya guli thana spring guli saya goblen nisian tu tiang jual, cincin tu goblen nisian tiang jual lah. Nyani go mungkin. Thôi chỉ đã thế nào cả, ale awe kapi mà để xem skin như nhiều cả, khó với lisa bisa, chỉ là một cái gì một số đại đại phụ chung đại phụ mà ale tham gia với nhiều sai lisa quan hệ, cái nào bây giờ interactive ya là đấy là, ale business na ya bắt ra đại众thế nào duy một đó, ale insan na đợt thế inter, thế thế ale kêu bài không có nó, ale thằng nào cái thằng nào nạp chuột thôi thế thằng monu chuột nhá thôi chuột hack cả. Như go mukla, aku na alo kena tahu, mukla, ayo ya na, betul je. So ale akhir khen atau lipi atau so bahaya khen, Nepal bahasa dari ciksan, Nepal bahasa barai ciksan cuci, cucinya na tahu betul, cuci ganya na tahu betul ganya na, ale Nepal bahasa dari ayo ka, insa bahasa cakap takut tu ketai, aku tak bisa bahasa mopsa, ale mofu mosu dekat bahasa, ale thamesya. Thôi để cái số nhiều em như na lisa view có thằng ya tự đá sao có cha interactive duy là đấy là em là em đi sao, ale business nó ya bao giờ nào chọn thế nào duy một ta mong là, ale internet sau này nhân thế nào duy là đấy, ayo chỉ nhau thì nhớ sao đấy cả, nhân là sao bạn này là thế chọn cả,
Yung cái gì bị ra cả,
business nó chụp không có na đi tiền nào cũng khó nhỉ. Kena di tiada aku kaya dah nyasa deka, lewat kau 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 tera nyasa nak lebih impiannya na, ale, ya aku, akhirnya saya ale macam inter diffusion ni lah ni. Tu sesnya macam saya ayana wangsa gaji dekat. Jadi interactive ya kau thang ya sejilah dekat. Gunain jula bana chala kha. Moko ana wekala to recording yan na digudu. Khabar majul ki weka chai hana to recording jugu julan dia chani ya cha. Mela thapar thing bedasta ya khabar chu de kusnai.
We are saying that go to Kasaa the more and development la do na so develop la do and we 라피스 포인트 추에 무슨이 무저주가 그래서 때 뜻에 먹게 되니까 ale 무슨 날 자야 아니 뭐 니는 야다 это 되게 자야라
폰주
음
아 모노 요거를 폰어 때 커주
서로스피트 리세
폰어 커주
예 지선은 추야고 먹다라
왜가
자 와서가지고 가시면도 내가 좀 오빠 누가 먹고 그래서 먹게 되가 네 ale wo file चाहिँ चुजुला विभिन्न राज्यता छु आयो छ होला मोर्नी मुला
soy mahani mo aweno malana ji naga bolo kha somdi bu college de piano di college no ji lai mo ko akon so na kon so de so di
아 소니글라 비하다 때노라 뭐
mo ko kale te do chayu ni yu program de lu ga
에 실라자래 ale यादव लाल दिसेया न खोजला बुझ्ने अब यो सुत्र बारे नि
khana jula a gule ya wo mcc o tene lagira bag no ke su
아 통화나 저 전화 인달로 추스를 가야 돼
ton milega
아
un jirawa o tene escuja mo
아 예. 아.
cái bố cho treo sẽ thông bà là
아, 통 바말리가 비슷해. 아우터
nên như cái phone lên mình đấy bao nhiêu là
저 폰이야.
cái gì bí money
그 비만에 비슷해. 가스가 수박. 나 이제 조절라빠. 조절라빠. 치 터다 클래스라 동고리 알레치다 터나 레코딩 저좀 지금 양대선가 지나 바트나